What's up, Straight Up Sister Squad? It's your girl, Roxy.
And I'm Last Susie.
And together we are
Straight Up Sisters, the podcast.
I'm the Bratty.
And I'm the boss.
And we love having those deep, intimate conversations where we often agree and disagree, but still love each other.
So if you love it served up with no chaser, then you're in the right place.
We are undoubtedly your favorite girls. You know who we are.
Straight Up Sisters, the podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to your favorite podcast in the entire world, Straight Up Sisters, the podcast. My name is Roxy.
And I am Last Susie.
And you know what? What I will tell you about being live on camera now and doing this, giving the audience something visual, is, oh my gosh, I am so aware of my posture, and this is where yoga kicks in.
You've always had good posture.
But you know
You're
what?
not a hunch. You don't slunch.
I don't slunch. Wait, what is
That's
it?
not even a word, bitch. I just made it up.
Hunch.
And look at how you just repeated monkey see, monkey do.
Oh my gosh, you just made up that word.
I meant to say slouch, but I think hunch was on my mind, so I made up a word.
You did.
Slunch.
And
You're
the other
welcome.
day I was watching, what was I watching? Oh, I was watching this documentary on Netflix called Human. I'm so fascinated by the human body and how we are a complete universe.
We are.
And I mean,
We are so perfectly divinely made.
did you know that the human brain is made out of 80% water?
Our whole body.
But they were specifically at this moment in this documentary, they were talking about the human brain.
So it's made up of water, or it floats in water? Because
It's
I know
made
it floats
up of
in our
water.
brain.
Like, that's how much water makes up the brain. 80% of it is made up of water. So I literally was thinking to myself, and to the people that don't hydrate, how is that going for you?
Well, that's probably where the headaches and the migraines and all that comes in.
That and the reactiveness, you know, like all of that is so, when you start to understand the human body more, I became fascinated after I became a yoga teacher.
The number one thing you need to survive is water. We can
listen.
go without food far, far longer than we can go without water.
Let this
That
be
speaks volumes.
your reminder to stay hydrated and drink water, because people would go for a soda, a Red Bull, a juice, everything but water.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're doing it wrong. We're doing it all wrong, y'all. Okay, is that my rant?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
I went from posture to the human brain to water. How you like that?
Thank you for coming.
I
Show's
tripped
over.
myself out.
Oh my gosh. So speaking of rants or highlights, was that your rant and highlight?
No,
or
it
was
wasn't.
that just
I have
an
another
extra?
one.
That was just a plus.
That was just the way I started the show today.
Okay, so we were in Vegas this past weekend. My comadres and myself, we took our kids to the Bruno Mars concert, which, by the way, was epic.
Bruno Mars is dope, man. I just happened to stumble across his Super Bowl performance with Beyonce, and he's just got swag on stage.
I mean, he's not a very big man, right? He's little like Mark Anthony, but the same vibe. Like their presence is so big on stage, and his music is a throwback, almost kind of like it has such a 90s vibe. So I'm able to relate to it because it reminds me of the 90s and the type of music that I love. And Robert relates because he's Bruno Mars and he's one of the hottest artists right now, right? We had so much fun. Number one reason was they took our phones away. Okay.
Oh my God,
So
that is genius.
You walk in, you check in, and they give you this little pouch. You put your phone in it, and they lock it with one of those like security tags, like that they put clothes on. So you can't get it off until you put it up against that little magnetic machine to release it.
And they give you the other piece?
No. They just lock it, and it stays on there.
And how are you able to identify your phone?
You keep your phone. It's just in a pouch. It's locked in a pouch.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So we had our phones not accessible at all whatsoever.
Oh my God, you know the people that have phone anxiety?
Well, I was having a little bit of anxiety because I was like, oh
I got
my
a
gosh.
text. Who is it from?
Yeah, my phone kept on buzzing, and I was like, don't know. I wasn't wearing my
I
Apple
was
Watch.
probably one of the ones texting you.
I wasn't wearing my Apple Watch, so I was completely disconnected. One of our comadres had an Apple Watch, and we just asked her, like, hey, can you text the guys and let them know we don't have a phone for the time being in case they're trying to reach us to text you, you know? So at at first I was having like anxiety because I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm here at this concert with my kid. It's one of those special moments. I'm not going to be able to document it.
Yeah.
Like no pictures, no nothing. But then
God forbid.
I know. But then we sort of like wiggled around the seating arrangement. So I ended up sitting right next to Robert, and then my comadre Sandra was next to me, and then my other comadre Shami was on the other end, and their two daughters were in the middle. So we were all sitting by our kid.
Yeah.
So we got there early because we didn't know, we weren't familiar with the venue, and if there was going to be like a shit ton of parking issues, whatnot, and the bar, what was that going to look like? So we got there a little bit early. We got our drinks, we sat down, and I had like the most amazing conversation with Robert. We were just talking about life, where he's at, college, just things that sometimes life is busy and you like skip over, you know?
Yeah.
But we were sitting there with no phones. And what do you do when you have no phones? You talk,
communicate.
right?
Yeah.
So then Bruno comes on, the show's amazing, and then he starts to sing to us like, I took your motherfucking phones. Like he had a whole song about us not having our phones. And he said, you know what? Everybody's always like facing their phone, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's always so busy about getting the perfect shot, about recording the things.
So
he
true.
said, I just want you to spend the next 2 hours with me. Just me and you. No phones. And when I tell you that, once the concert really got going, we didn't even miss our phones. We didn't care that there was no pictures. We danced. We sang to the top of our lungs. Like we were on our feet the entire concert. It was so much fun.
Gosh, so many more places should implement that rule.
Yeah.
It's
And it
like
was so dope
everybody-
doing it with my adult son.
I think that's actually like, if it hasn't been diagnosed, I'm diagnosing that right now. That's
As what?
When you don't have your phone, you feel anxiety.
Well, because you feel disconnected because we're so used to being connected and having people having instant contact to us, knowing where our loved ones are by looking at Find My Friends, having instant access to the entire world via social media. That's what we've become accustomed to.
Yeah, I
didn't miss it. We were in our own world.
I love that. I was reading something the other day. I don't know where it was, but I saw it said like we live in such a connected world, yet we're so disconnected.
100%.
And I'm like, what an oxymoron, but gosh, it makes sense.
It's so true, though. If you look up and pay attention to what's going on, there's plenty of couples that don't speak because their faces
that's
in the
sad.
phone. There's plenty of families that don't communicate with each other in the house. Dinner phones at the dinner table. Like, it's just how this generation is being brought up, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you know what? I bet you there's families out there that have, or they're probably gonna get the idea from listening to this episode. Is they have this like basket where everybody puts their phone in. They go eat as a family.
We did no phones at the dinner table.
Oh, when you
Me raising my kids,
Yeah.
it wasn't even an option.
that's just
No phones at
that's
the
how
dinner
it
table.
should be.
Yeah, and I didn't expect anybody to talk back. I didn't expect any objections because it's my rules.
Period.
But I didn't have my phone either. Like we were there talking with the kids, you know? So once the concert was over, but everybody cried. Everybody cried because, you know, music invokes, you know?
Yeah.
So the girls were super emo about certain songs. Robert was like over the
Robert
moon.
cried?
Yeah, he looked at me. He's like, Mom, Bruno is a sexy man. Yeah, he just felt moved by like the experience. And I like had a moment and out of body, like I stepped back and I saw my comadres, which are my best friends,
Yeah.
and their kids, me and mine. And I was like, you know what? I would pay thousands of dollars for this every fucking time.
Yeah.
Because these moments are literally priceless. And so if it just cost me a couple $1,000s,
I could do that with my baby.
It
oh
was-
my gosh.
it was everything. And I looked at my comadre and I was like, the kids were happy.
yeah.
The kids were in the moment. The kids were being kids. I know they're young adults, but there was no heaviness to the evening at all. No awkwardness. It was just the perfect fucking moment,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh
So
my
I looked at my
gosh.
comadre Sandra and I was like, I would fucking pay millions of dollars for this. Like this moment to me is perfect. And we didn't even have our phones. And I can't even show you. Like, Raquel, look how amazing the concert was. You just have to take my word for
Yeah,
it.
because you
know?
get so lost in the sauce of getting that perfect picture and getting
Yeah.
the zoom in. Come on, we've all been there.
Yeah. and
I want to be that kind of mom that focuses on giving my baby experiences
so
versus
worth it.
like the other day I was reading I saw this video of how Elon Musk is the richest or one of the richest men in the world, but yet he doesn't buy his child name brand shoes. He buys them like because they grow out of shoes so fast,
Totally.
right? And he buys them this little. They showed the brand, but it was just a whatever brand, you know. And it's like because he spends most of his money on giving his kid experiences.
Yeah.
Imagine the kind of experiences you can have when your
Yeah.
dad is the richest person in the world, right? But that who cares about your financial status? But you can create amazing memories going to a park.
100%.
Rolling in a wagon and making it super fun and playing hide and seek. And I mean, I remember our childhood being the best. Like
Your
playing
kids will
hopscotch.
follow your lead, and you'll see that. And it's so funny because when the kids are little, you're like, oh my gosh, I want to get them this amazing walker, this dope outfit, or this super dope swing. And then birthday parties come around and then they get all these presents and you'll see they want to play with the cardboard box. They want to play with the wrapping paper. They want to crinkle the water bottle. They don't give a shit about what it is. It's as long as it stimulates them, that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So he's onto something by not overindulging his kid with things. And I completely 100% agree. Like, don't go out and buy your kids all the things that they'll forget about next year. So Robert said, Mom, you're 2 for 2 with my Christmas presents. And I was like, what did I give you last year? I didn't even remember.
What'd you give him?
A Fluffy. I gave him his ticket. One of his presents was his ticket to go see
Oh
Fluffy.
my
Again,
gosh.
an epic fucking
That
night.
was so fun.
And
Have you seen the DVD?
No.
On Netflix?
No.
I was like, we were there.
I didn't
we
see
were
it.
there.
I need to buy it. I want to buy it for him.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, man, like, comedians are special people.
Yeah. Anybody. That's what, girl, I had a moment.
Remembering your material and being so flawless with it at the Dodger Stadium where it's like you have no option but to be flawless.
And how nerve-wracking.
But remember, our coaches, especially Tim Story, which
you prepare, and you prepare some more.
He studies comedians because comedians are like the perfect people to study because they make it seem so natural, yet it's so rehearsed, but yet it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. You got to go rewatch it. You're going to just be like, I was there.
I want to rewatch it.
When he goes in on vegans, oh my gosh.
I want to rewatch
you're probably
it.
talking about me with the dairy free
stuff. So good. When Robert told me like you're 2 for 2, I didn't even remember. And then I started thinking, I was like, you know what? I don't remember the things. I don't even remember the things that I bought him. But once he reminded me about Fluffy, I remembered immediately. This was another experience that we're going to always talk about. So after we left that, we went to go eat right there. We were at the MGM Park. Have you seen? That's like the newest resort.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's the first smokeless casino. And it smells delicious.
Thank
we
God.
We were going to go get out of the casino and go find something to eat. And I was like, you guys, they have like Thai food right here. Let's just eat there. It was so good. It was Natalia's half birthday, so she was 20 and a half because she'll be 21 in August.
Oh my gosh.
So the whole weekend we were celebrating her half birthday, and we got her a half a shot because it was her half birthday. Well, let me tell you something.
So when was her birthday?
Her birthday is on Mel's birthday, August 5th. But it was her half birthday.
Oh,
so
God.
we were celebrating. Why not? We were in Vegas just being escandalosas, So her and Robert, they ended up drinking a little bit too much,
Oh my gosh.
So, and this is when I was like,
it's like
oh my
you
gosh.
gotta have that experience when you're in Vegas. So when you're that age,
Of course. And I always wondered, like, I wonder how I'm going to act when that happens, because I could be critical, right, of shit. But what is my word for 2023? It's safe to be soft.
It's safe
and
to be
I've been
soft.
practicing that, and I've been showing up.
It's actually not a word; it's a phrase.
Well, you get what I'm saying.
It's safe to be soft. Say it to your people.
Catch my drift?
Say it to the people.
Safe to be soft is my phrase for 2023, right? Because we don't do resolutions. We do words
or
of the
phrases.
Year or phrases. So this year, if you've been following me on social media or if you've listened to the podcast in past seasons, we talked about it. It's safe to be soft is my word. So
what's my phrase? Do you remember?
Let go and let God.
Yeah. And then I let go and let God, and then I got pregnant.
Look at that. It's amazing.
Look at that.
When you surrender to the things you know that you should do. It's amazing.
It's just like, why are we so stubborn sometimes?
Well, because we're conditioned that way. Like, why was I so critical all the time? What did I benefit from it? What did I gain from it? Nothing. It was a defense mechanism.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anybody out there that's walking around with like super judgmental and super critical, fall back and ask yourself, why am I like that? And 99% of the time, it's going to be the same reason. It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
If I keep you at arm's length, then you can't hurt me.
And it
You know?
stems from somewhere.
Of course. So that's been my journey, showing up soft. So when I woke up, I guess Robert had gotten sick since like 3 in the morning, but he didn't wake me up. He's an adult.
Your ass went to sleep.
Girl, I was asleep. He's an adult. I didn't know. I didn't know that he was feeling like that.
Where were they? I mean, were they
We
out
had an
turning
Airbnb.
up?
No, we were all together. Like all the drinking happened in front of us.
Okay.
And honestly, they didn't overdrink. It was they were mixing and they were buying their own drinks, so they were buying bottom shelf, like the cheapest of the cheap shit, you know.
Hornitos.
So at 7 a.m., my comadre texts me. She's like, "Hey, Robert is sick," and I was like, "What?" So I got up and I was like, "Buddy, girl, when I tell you, Robert was pale as your shirt, his under eyes were all purple." I was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I don't feel good." I was like, "Oh, estás crudo? You're hungover?" I'm like, "Do you have a headache?" He's like, "No, it's just my stomach." He couldn't keep anything down.
Oh gosh,
I was
super
like,
hungover.
"Oh," so I just took care of him, and I thought, Mel and I were talking later, and I was like, how dope that I can show up like that for my kid. That I didn't show up like reprimanding him, judging him, shaming him. That I just understood because I've been there before.
Yeah.
Like many times I've been there before. And I didn't get on my high horse to judge him. And how many parents do you know, and you maybe will experience this yourself one day, who forget all the shit they did when they were young and assume that their children are not going to do it, or that their children are going to be better because we raised them. When in reality, we're all just human beings out here living our own human experience.
Yeah, and you got to remember you're in Vegas, dude.
Yeah.
And they did everything in front of you.
Yeah. I was not mad at them
But
at all.
I'm sure there still would have been parents that would have been pissed. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel that that's why even as young kids at our family parties, or when we would get our dad a beer or our mom some wine,
or light my grandma's cigarette.
yeah, they would be like, take a sip. Just so that way we weren't doing it behind their back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
there's no
saying?
need to do it behind. There is no need. I mean, mind you, like my goddaughter, she's 17. She wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
And she was so funny. She was like, usually she's like a little salty for being the youngest one.
Yeah.
And today, that day, she was like, ooh, for the first time in my life, I am not mad that I'm the baby. Because you had one upstairs throwing up, one downstairs throwing up. Oh my gosh. But overall, it was such a dope weekend. And I'm so grateful that I got to experience that with all of our kids. And that I got to show up with for my son in a very gracious and soft way to help him through it.
Yeah, and you know what? To me, when I hear you talk about that, it reminds me of the kind of mom that I want to be. I really do want to give my baby experiences. I don't want to get caught up in, I feel like, because when I do see people buying their kids like all these lavish things, good for you. You could do it if that I just feel like it's like, what are you fulfilling for yourself? That, you know what I mean? Like, is it really for your kid? Because your kid doesn't know that that's Gucci and Chanel and or whatever, or
and they outgrow it like this,
or a G5 little motor cart. I'm probably gonna get my baby a Jeep because I'm such a
Those
Jeep
are actually
girl.
really cute.
The Jeeps,
they're
right?
Toys,
They're super cute, but still, yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't feel like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old could really even understand a name brand concept.
No, absolutely
they don't even care.
Absolutely
it's
not
about the experience. Anyways.
And it's so funny. It also how society, like perception that society gives it. Because I remember at one point Robert was in middle school and he kept on losing his sneakers. And I'm like, dude, how do you lose your shoes? You got a size 12 shoe. I don't understand how the red sneakers, Nikes that you wanted so bad are missing. Nobody in your locker room is wearing the shoes, like snatch them back. So finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Target and we're going to buy you Target tennis shoes. And that was when Champion was still in Target. And he was so upset. And he was like, I don't want to wear those. And I was like, it doesn't matter if you don't want to wear them. This is what I'm buying you until you learn to take care of your tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, Champion blew up. Target no longer carries it. It like doubled in price. And now it's cool to wear Champion.
Yeah. I mean, these kids wouldn't even survive us growing up, right?
In Payless?
Payless Pro Wings where every 30 days your feet stunk. and you're like, Daddy, I think I need some new shoes because your feet, you had to get new shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Because your foot stunk.
Oh, yeah.
But the
Horrendously.
experience of
Your
going to
feet always smelled like cornflakes.
always,
Raquel.
but I seriously, my feet used to stink, y'all. But the experience of going to Payless and buying shoes, it was so exciting.
Yeah.
Because you would walk out with like 4 pairs.
Yeah.
Because they were so affordable.
$25
I don't
each,
know.
if that.
I just feel like a lot of times when people do that, it's like, what are you trying to prove to your own self?
Yeah,
but,
and obviously,
but if you could do it and it makes you feel good, great. But I think, like personally, even as an adult, I'd rather spend my money on experience.
100%.
I mean, do I like good shit? Hell yeah, I do. But is an experience gonna last in my soul even when I die?
Forever.
Yeah. Like, are we gonna always like our trip to Canada?
Yeah.
We're always gonna talk about things
Forever.
like that. You know?
It was funny. When we were having dinner, my comadre shot me. She sat back and she was like, "Our kids are so blessed, not spoiled." But she's like, our kids are so blessed. And I was like, absolutely. They all have passports. They all have passport stamps. They all get to, like, they're hanging out at a super fly restaurant, eating really good food on a Saturday night, celebrating her half birthday. We just watched a concert. Like, to some people that are extremely wealthy,
life.
it may not seem like a lot, but it was such a dope curated moment that we couldn't have planned it any better, that our kids are blessed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it felt so good to be able to share that and to be able to guide them through their, well, I'm not going to say it was their first hangover because I don't know. But
I'm sure it's
that
not.
one. It felt dope to guide them through it and to take care of them and to say, like, hey, listen, this works. Take it easy. You don't want to over consume, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, Robert yesterday at the end of the night, he was like, thank you again, Mom, for helping me. And I was like, you're welcome, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a quick highlight, really quick. I have been taking a whole new attitude and approach towards doing my laundry. And
wow.
I gotta tell you, it was just something that I was like, you gotta do laundry. It's something that you gotta do. And you might as well just have a good attitude towards it and just embrace it. So the other day, I did 8 loads of laundry back to back.
Did you put them away immediately?
No.
Oh, baby steps.
Baby steps. Baby steps. First of all, it was just like the thought of laundry was like, ugh. The more you reject something, the more you push something away, it's like the more it's in your face. And the more, so I was like, if it's worked for other things in your life, if you change your attitude towards something, it has to work towards the concept of laundry too.
Of course.
You know? So I was like, I'm going to just enjoy doing my laundry. It was a Saturday, I think, or a Sunday. My house was really clean. I had just had my clean lady over. My house was really clean. I had candles burning. I was bumping R&B. And I separated my clothes. I was like, I got 8 loads of laundry. Oh my God. How does a woman produce so much laundry? Imagine having a child in the mix. It's on, right? Might as well just get used to it now.
You might as well.
Yeah. So I separated them and I was like, I'm going to just throw them in. And I'm gonna fold them as soon as they're out of the dryer. I'm gonna fold them. I'm gonna enjoy it. The putting it away, I'm not there yet.
Have you put it away yet?
I put it away.
Okay.
But I left it all on my couch. I folded it really nice and warm. I didn't want it to get wrinkled. So you know what I mean? I had told myself how it was gonna be. And then before you knew it, I was done with 8 loads of laundry. And I was like, who am I? Who am I?
The new and improved
Who
Roxy.
am I that I actually? I think I did 8 loads in like 3 hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I was so
I can't
proud.
remember the last time I did 8 loads. I can't even remember the last time I did a load.
Okay, maybe 4 hours or 5 hours. But it wasn't like a whole day thing like it usually is. It was pretty fast. And
because you're focused.
I did not put the clothes away though till the next day. But I will tell you that
winning.
it was more of an it was the most enjoyable laundry experience that I've had in my whole life.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, and
High
I was like, if it works for other things in your life, it has to work towards something you dislike.
Well,
right?
And that brings us to the topic of today's show. I was inspired by a post that our past guest Peyton Hughes posted.
I love Peyton.
In regards to the power of words.
Oh,
so we're going to break that down
gosh.
when we come back.
Let's do that, please.